What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the market report for September 2025. It's been a while since we've done this, but I'm super excited to dive back in. With the rates dropping as we head into fall, buyer activity is picking up, and we're starting to see the market heat up. Let's take a look at the last few months and see what's been going on. So this chart is super confusing. We've got for sale, sold, pending, and new listings. If you look at this one right here, this shorter bar, this is our current number of sold properties. This is our number of properties on the market. You see the red line here, that's the number of pending properties, and the blue line is the number of new listings. Now, looking at this chart, it's pretty complicated. It's hard to tell what's going on, so we're going to look at the data here in the next couple of pages. The number of homes for sale in August of 2025 was 938. That's a 1.6% increase from the previous month at 923. However, year over year, we're up from 674 a year ago, which is a 22.8% increase. So inventory is definitely increasing. There's no doubt about that. The number of homes sold over the last month went from 337 down to 289. That's a 14.2% decrease and a 9.7% decrease year over year. So while the number of new listings coming on the market seems to be increasing, or at least the number of properties on the market's increasing, the number of homes selling, aka buyer activity, has actually been decreased. The number of pending properties over the last month has increased from 302 to 335, which actually shows an increase in buyer activity over the last month. And we're up from 296 last year, which is a 13.2% increase. So compared to a year ago, buyer activity seems to be a little bit higher than what we would expect, even though there's a lot more properties on the market. The number of new listings on the market over the last month has increased from 414 to 430. That's a 3.9% increase. And we're up from only 428 a year ago, which is a very, very small increase, basically standing pat as far as the number of new listings. So as the rates start to drop, more sellers are going to be willing to enter the market because a lot of sellers right now have low interest rates and they don't really want to go and sell their 4 or 5% interest rate to go buy at 6 and 7s. Now that we're getting down into the high 5s or getting there, I think it's going to start opening things up a little bit. Taking a look at average list price versus average sale price. So if you look at average list price, that's that green line here. It's sitting in the low 500s over the last year or so. Looking at average sold price, you've seen definitely some waves. We dropped off this last month, but if you look at the previous month, it was pretty high. So somewhere kind of median is probably where we're really at. Obviously month to month, depending on which properties sell, it's going to affect these numbers. So since last month it was 509,000 was the average list price, and we're up to 511,000, a very small increase. However, we're down 1.4% from the previous year. So sellers are starting to adjust a little bit and understand that the slower buyer market is going to force them to price a little bit more competitively. The average sale price is down 10% from last month. Again, this could just be based on the particular properties that were sold this month versus last month. Maybe some bigger homes were sold, but still important numbers to look at. I think year over year is probably a better indication, where again, we're down 4.3% from a year ago at 397K average sale price. And again, that kind of tells us that sellers are having to adjust a little bit to where buyers are. Average price per square foot. So right now we're sitting right at $240 per square foot. That's down from $249 last month. Again, probably based on the homes that sold last month versus this month. But year over year, we're up 1.3%. So, we're down a little bit in average sale price, up a little bit in price per square foot. So things are kind of standing pat for sellers right now. And again, as the market starts to heat up, we may see those prices start to climb again. The number of days on market, this chart's showing you days on market. We're right over 50, it looks like. It says 52 in August, up from 50 last month. That's a 4% increase and a 15.6 increase from last year. So homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer, which again can lead to those price decreases. The overall number of months of inventory. This is one of my favorite charts because this kind of tells us whether it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. And traditionally, 5 or 6 months has been kind of the teetering point of whether it's a buyer, seller's market. 5 or 6 months is about that neutral zone. But I kind of feel like right now we're sitting at 3.2 months of inventory. This kind of feels like the neutral zone, right? Buyers are able to negotiate a little bit, get some closing costs, things like that. Sellers are still able to sell their homes if you price correctly. So you're still getting multiple offers, right? So very much dependent on how you're pricing your home and your pricing strategy. But the overall months of inventory are as high as they've been in the last year. So again, we're up 18.3% from last month, a significant increase of inventory month over month, and up 33.5% from a year ago. So that's a lot more inventory when you think about it compared to a year ago. And we were at all-time lows during the pandemic, and it's slowly been climbing up since then. So in summary, the number of closed transactions is down 9.7% year over year, while the number of homes on the market is up 22.8% over that span of time. The number of pending homes is up 13.2% though, which gives us the confidence that the market is rebounding as rates are dropping as we head into fall of 2025. The number of new listings is up 0.5% year over year, which is essentially no movement from last year. But as rates drop, we should see more sellers enter the market, and we'll definitely see more buyers enter the market. Average list price is down 1.4% year over year, while average sale price is down 4.3%. Again, sellers are accepting that the frenzy market during the pandemic is behind us, and now we've got to price a little bit more competitively to get our home sold. Average price per square foot is up 1.3% year over year. Considering the other stats in the market that we're climbing out of, though, that actually looks really good and promising as we head into the fall. Total months of inventory is up 33.5% year over year. Now, we're somewhere between a buyer's market and a seller's market at this time at 3.2 months. Again, as a buyer, you can get some concessions right now. It's actually a good time to get in the market as the rates are coming down. We can get some closing costs out of these sellers. But as rates continue to drop and more buyers enter the market, it could drive prices up. I want to thank you guys for watching. I know it's a quick one. I'm going to try to make these a little bit shorter than I have in the past, a little bit more concise. We'll get another one of these out next month, and we'll try to keep them coming as often as possible. If you have any questions about the market, real estate, your home, anything, real estate related or even not real estate related, I've got contractors for everything. If you need things fixed, I'm your guy. So give me a call, 559-334-8971 if there is anything at all that I can do to help you. Thanks for watching.
Are you having a hard time selling your property or just stressed for time to do it? Won't you contact David Haun at www.meetdavidhaun.com. With 100 plus happy clients, closed deals over 4 years in the business, MBA in digital marketing, and 5-star Google and great client experience. With the skills to compete with anyone in any presentation exposure, beautiful photography, aerials, 4K videos, interactive virtual tours, and even neighborhood spotlights they'll be used to present property. With professional cleaning on every listing paid by David Haun. Our marketing is very focused on online experience. David provides a Matterport virtual walkthrough on each listing. With the number of buyers we are seeing from the metro areas of California, it's a huge benefit for them to be able to see the house in much detail. Everything is placed on a landing page. That's the hub of all the social media posts, paid ads, circle calls, emails, and text codes that's on the side, which enables David to help you capture leads without any contact. With paid social media ads, David Haun can target anyone who has been on Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com within the last 90 days. With everything I can provide, be assured that 10,000 plus active local buyers see your property within the first week. Don't believe me? Check out my testimonies at www.reviewdavidhaun.com.